Also, I know this glare is bothering you, but you have to deal with it. So the Samsung Galaxy S8 is finally official, and while I could make a first impressions video, there are thousands of them already on the internet. So you can check out some of the ones I linked in the description below. But I thought I'd make something completely different and address some of the issues that Samsung could have improved on the Galaxy S8. So here are 5 things that Samsung could have done to make the Galaxy S8 an even better smartphone for 2017. First and foremost is having a dual camera setup. All its direct competitors like the LG G6 or the iPhone 7 Plus have a dual camera setup, and even budget smartphones like the Honor 6X are swaying towards a dual camera setup. And that's because the Galaxy S8 doesn't really have an improved camera over the Galaxy S7. Sure, it's got some software improvements, but apart from that, it's still a 12 megapixel sensor that's pretty much identical to the Galaxy S7. So a dual camera setup could have made the whole thing a better smartphone, in my opinion. Next up is the amount of RAM. In spite of pushing the 18:9 aspect ratio and making screens taller in order to have more multitasking options, the Galaxy S8 still has only 4 GB of RAM, which is kind of disappointing, not only because budget smartphones that are 1/3 the price of this phone have 6 GB of RAM already, but also because TouchWiz consumes a lot of RAM, and believe it or not, it's gonna take up that 4 GB very quickly. And if you're multitasking and watching videos and browsing the web all at the same time, you may run into issues, and I've encountered that on previous Galaxy devices. So Samsung could have done better by implementing 6 GB of RAM. Alright, so this next one might sound a bit odd, but including an IR blaster on the Galaxy S8 wouldn't have been a bad shout. So if you don't know what an IR blaster is, it's the thing you use to control TVs or appliances at your home. And back in the day, you could find them on smartphones. And I think if the Galaxy S8 did have an IR blaster, it would have linked up with Bixby, the virtual assistant that Samsung are pushing with this phone, really well. Not only because Samsung wants to streamline the use of all appliances with one app, but also because it just adds to the convenience. You could talk to Bixby to change the channel on your TV and stuff like that. So I wish the IR blaster was a thing on the Galaxy S8, because how easy is it to implement one of those things? Don't quote me on that because I don't know the specifics or how much space it takes internally, but it would have made the phone a better device nonetheless. Second to last is battery. And if you don't know, the Galaxy S8 has a 3000 mAh battery that's identical to the Galaxy S7's 3000 mAh battery. The only catch is the Galaxy S8 has a 5.8-inch display and the Galaxy S7 had a 5.1-inch display. So you're looking at a very large bump in screen real estate without actually increasing the battery too much. Which means even though your processor is power efficient and even though you have fast charging, you're bound to face battery life issues. And maybe that's why Samsung is shipping the Galaxy S8s with a default 1080p or Full HD resolution instead of the native 2K or Quad HD resolution that the phone is capable of. And come on, even the LG G6, with pretty much the same dimensions as the Galaxy S8 and being its direct competitor, has a 3200 mAh battery. So I don't know why Samsung couldn't have crammed in a bigger battery, but maybe they're taking the more conservative approach after what happened with the Note 7 and its battery issues. So I don't have to go over that, do I? And last but not least is streamlining processing power. So if you don't know, the Galaxy S8 comes in 2 variants just like previous Galaxy devices, one being the Snapdragon 835 variant and the other being the Exynos 8895 variant. So the Snapdragon variant is sold in the USA while the other one is sold worldwide. But I don't know why Samsung can't just make the device with one processor, because that would eliminate any sort of extra production costs and eliminate any changes in performance between the two devices. And I know for a fact the Exynos variant seems to outperform the Snapdragon variant on numerous occasions, and that was the case with the S7 and with the Note 7, which is now discontinued. So if they could streamline and make it one single processor on one single device, the experience would be a lot more uniform, and in the end it would make consumers a lot more happier. But again, that's just what I think, and maybe Samsung and Snapdragon have this sort of agreement that they can't break up until a certain year. But yeah, those were my thoughts on the Samsung Galaxy S8 and how Samsung could have made the phone a little bit better for 2017. Leave your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for more videos in the future. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Adios.